how is everyone doing? And welcome to the Stat Room. Ladies and gentlemen, I am VonnTheStatman. You can follow me on Twitter at VonnTheStatman. And guys, check out my website, VonnTheStatman.com. Now, you might want to go on my website a few times a week because I might be giving out a few hidden gems that can help you to win your DFS contest each week and to also help you dominate your fantasy leagues. So y'all ready? All right, welcome back, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Stat Room. And thanks for following me on this DFS journey. So let's break down the 5STUDS results because I don't like to waste a lot of you guys' time. All right, the 5STUDS did well. LeBron James didn't play. Remember, on the videos, I don't make any adjustments. So it's up to you to make sure that the guys play, because once the video is done, I then switch my attention onto my Stat Room members and my top players list. So guys, let's get right into this 6-game slate. All right, everyone, let's break down this quick 6-game slate. Now, 6-game slate, guys, remember, we can actually go after the unlimited entry GPPs today because our odds are pretty much in our favor. So you can play single entry, unlimited entry GPPs if you're taking my lead. I also always recommend your head-to-head contests because to me, your head-to-head contests are your go-to contests. So even if you have an off day, you can recoup the day by having your head-to-head contest. So if you have a bad day, you can win those head-to-head contests and break even. So on today's slate, guys, I'm going to break down the small forward position. Now, Giannis Antetokounmpo had his worst scoring performance of the year. So in New York, I expect a major performance coming back from him, especially going up against this New York team. This is the game that I really like. Milwaukee is a really good team. They don't have Middleton right now. Holiday is going his second game back. So by his third game, he'll be back into his normal rhythm. But Antetokounmpo should absolutely ball out, guys. LeBron James has just been phenomenal this year. His diet and his regiment on how he takes care of his body is just a testament to him. That's why he's one of the greatest players to ever play in the league and one of the best fantasy producing players, even at his age. Tatum, love Tatum. He always steps up in big games, and this will be a big game. I can see Tatum putting up a 60 burger today. Brown has been up and down, but in this matchup, I see Brown putting up, I would say, 42 fantasy points. DeRozan always plays well against Boston, so I expect DeRozan to have a pretty solid game. Ponchero, rookie, I like him. Sacramento, they don't play a lot of defense, so if he is going to ball out, this would probably be the game that he does it. Ingram is already ruled out. Kuzma hasn't really had that 50-point game that we need from him. And this is why a lot of the people who evaluate the NBA say that he's a second-tier player. He's not a lead man. I believe he has the potential to be a lead man, but I think he's better suited to be a Robin and not a Batman. But in DFS purposes, I think he would give us about 35 fantasy points. Johnson's a game-time decision. Barrett has already been ruled out. Bane is on the second night of a back-to-back, but he's playing an inferior team. Ja Morant will probably be back for this game, so when Ja Morant is in there, it kind of hurts the rest of the team's value except the center position and power forward position. Wagner, like him at Sacramento, like I said, it's a game with no defense, so that should be a pretty high-scoring game. Then you have Herter. I love Herter. This is a game where I believe Herter can get you 30 to 35 points. Marshall has been balling. He's now at $6,000. You missed him if you didn't play him in his last couple contests when he was 48. At $6,000, this is the letdown game. This is the game where he's going to give you probably 24 fantasy points. But he has been balling, so see if he can do it 3 straight games, but I wouldn't bank on it. I personally don't play Dylan Brooks, so I always bypass him. Love Barnes in this matchup, guys. I think Barnes is going to ball out. Grimes, I would say Grimes can get you probably 25. Herbert Jones was my favorite play, I played him in all my contests. He put up 41 in his last performance. I hit him dead on. I do like Porter to break out of his slump against the Lakers. Hachimura, also like Hachimura. Richardson, don't like him. Avijenta, he's up and down. GPP play only, wouldn't play him in cash games. P. Williams, I think that he's gonna start coming back down to earth because they don't really rely on him to score a lot of points. So don't know if you really need to gamble on him. So Crane, same thing. Don't need to gamble on him. I see Memphis wiping the floor with San Antonio. If San Antonio was home, I would like their chances better. Mary, I was high on him in the last game, and he gave me 22. That's not bad for a $5,000 player, so he did pretty good. And Allen is public enemy number one. A lot of teams and players just does not like this guy. I like Allen. He's a feisty guy, so I like him. Conchar, he's going to come off the bench. Don't like him. Caldwell Pope at 4.7. You could take a chance on Caldwell Pope because Caldwell Pope 4.7. This is one of them games where he can easily have 14 points, a couple steals. He's playing the Lakers. Former team, he might be motivated. And at 4.7, you just need 20 points, and I believe he's safe to get 4 points, especially on this high-scoring Denver team. Reeves is out. Troy Murphy, another player at 4.5 that he's worth taking it. He's worth taking a look at, especially against Washington. This is the game where I would definitely play Murphy. I believe Murphy is going to get 30 in this game, and I believe he's going to go very, very low owned. Kispert, up and down with him. McDermott, don't like him. Branham, I like him, but I personally stay away from San Antonio players because Popovich, you never know who's going to play, how many minutes they're going to get, so I personally don't rock with any San Antonio players. Ross, I wouldn't roster Ross. Barton came in and almost helped the Wizards to win. If you look at the last game, he only played 17 minutes, had 23 fantasy points. Barton, if he gets a consistent 20 fantasy points, you would want to roster this guy. This guy's a pretty good player. So you look at Ingles. Ingles is not really going to get a lot of minutes. He's going to probably get that 19 to 20 minutes, so don't like him. Connaughton, I like Connaughton, guy. He's a scrappy guy. He don't get a lot of minutes either, but he can make the most of his minutes. But there's more value in other areas. Fournier was the starter, and now he's starting to get about 12 minutes. Again, he's starting to produce a little bit better, but his ceiling is 15 fantasy points, so don't gamble on him. And that's basically it, guys. So you want to win your fantasy? Start these players. Made it this far, hit that like button, hit that share button, and subscribe to my channel. You want to win your fantasy? You better start point guard Fultz. You want to know why? Well, he's on 40-point watch. So if you want to win your fantasy, start Fultz. You want to win your fantasy? You need some value plays. So if you want to win your fantasy, start shooting guard Pope. You want to know why? Well, he's going to get us 22 points. So if you want to win your fantasy, start Pope. You want to win your fantasy? You better start small forward Antetokounmpo. You want to know why? Well, I call him AKA the Terminator because he can't be bargained with, he can't be reasoned with, and he absolutely will not stop ever until he gives us 65 plus fantasy points. So if you want to win your fantasy, start Antetokounmpo. You want to win your fantasy? You better start power forward Portis. You want to know why? Well, he plays with a lot of energy. He is the emotional leader of this team, and he is in New York where he is going to ball out. So if you want to win your fantasy, start Portis. You want to win your fantasy? Start center Bryant. You want to know why? Well, he's on 35-point watch. So if you want to win your fantasy, start Bryant. And my word for today is body. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm one who I treat my body like it's my temple, and I don't put crap into my body. Like I don't eat processed foods. I'm not eating dairy, no fast food. And I was adamantly against the COVID vaccine. My research said it was harmful, so I would not put anything harmful into my body. And I also won't be a guinea pig on something that only took 8 months to make. When I was a kid, they told us it takes 5 to 10 years to do a successful vaccine. So I was adamantly against that. Ladies and gentlemen, I never tell anybody what to do with their bodies. But since I changed my diet, I am in my 40s and I have a better body than most 19-year-olds because I love myself that much to really be aware of what I put into my body. So I'll end with this. Ladies and gentlemen, treat your body like your temple, because if you don't, it'll be very painful when you're in that hospital bed. Love you guys.